That, in a recent episode of No Priors, the excellent podcast co-hosted by AI investors Sarah Guo and Elad Gil, Gil made a point about exit timing that's undoubtedly familiar to founders who've spent time with that, but seems particularly useful in this moment of go-go deal-making. For most companies, Gil said, there's roughly a 12-month period where the business is at its peak value, and then it crashes out and the window closes. That. The companies that capture generational returns are often the ones where someone spies that moment instead of assuming the good times will get even better. Lotus, AOL, and Mark Cuban's Broadcast.com all sold at or near the top. That and all are held up by Gil as examples of outfits that foresaw what was coming and smartly pulled the ripcord. That. Kris Jenner has landed in a new conundrum after debuting her face transformation last year, which made her nearly unrecognizable. On her 70th birthday, Kris famously looked her daughter's sister, and the plastic surgeon who she worked with rose to new popularity in Hollywood.
And bomb disposal experts carried out a controlled underground detonation of a World War II explosive near Paris on Sunday. An AFP journalist reported after authorities evacuated more than 1,000 residents, nearly 800 police cordoned off the site in the northwest suburb of Colombes, where the device was first discovered on April 10. And Islamabad Deputy Commissioner Irfan Nawaz Memon on Sunday dismissed as fake on Sunday a notification announcing that all public and private offices in the federal capital and Rawalpindi would remain closed from April 20 until further notice. In a social media post on X, Memon said, "Citizens are requested to refrain from sharing unverified or fake news. Please rely only on official handles of the District Administration, Islamabad, for authentic updates." And the winning runner at a Beijing half-marathon for humanoid robots finished the race today in 50 minutes and 26 seconds, significantly faster than the human world record of 57 minutes recently set by Jacob Kiplimo. And comparing human and robot running times may seem unfair. One social media user observed, "My car can outrun a cheetah too." Still, the winning time is a massive improvement over last year's race, and when the fastest robot finished in 2 hours and 40 minutes. Back then, I scoffed that this would not be an impressive time for a human. And Jeff Bezos' space company Blue Origin successfully reused one of its New Glenn rockets for the first time ever on Sunday, but the company failed at its primary mission, delivering a communications satellite to orbit for customer AST SpaceMobile. And AST SpaceMobile issued a statement Sunday afternoon that the upper stage of the New Glenn rocket placed Bluebird 7 satellite into an orbit that was lower than planned. The satellite successfully separated from the rocket and powered on, and the company said, but the altitude is too low to sustain operations and will now have to be deorbited, left to burn up in the atmosphere of Earth.
That. Olivia Rodrigo made a surprise appearance during Addison Rae's Coachella, set on Saturday, and Halsey was one of the attendees in the crowd. The 31-year-old musician took to Instagram after the performance and shared a video of the driver's license hitmaker's performance and wrote, "Favorite girl," over it.
And Charlize Theron openly criticized Timothée Chalamet for his views over ballet and opera, which he considered the forgotten arts. In a new interview, the 50-year-old actress shared that dance was probably one of the hardest things she ever did. And Minister of State for Finance Bilal Azhar Kayani has visited the Overseas Investors Chamber of Commerce and Industry, OICCI, in Karachi and held discussions with its leadership as part of ongoing consultations for the federal budget 2026-27. And the meeting was focused on the broader economic outlook, upcoming budget priorities, and government efforts to promote business activity, improve the investment climate, and expand the tax base through sustained reforms, and the Ministry of Finance said in a statement.
That Hollywood just got a next-generation crossover. Eddie Murphy confirmed that his son Eric and Martin Lawrence's daughter Jasmine have welcomed their first child together, making the comedy legend's grandparents at the same time. They just had a baby girl. Eddie, 65, told E! News on April 18. They just had her 2 weeks ago, or a week ago.
And Meghan Markle shared a warm glimpse of life after their Australia trip on Sunday. She posted short Instagram stories celebrating the couple's return home to California after a packed tour across Melbourne, Canberra and Sydney.
That 8 children with ages ranging from 1 to 14 were killed in a mass shooting on Sunday in the U.S. state of Louisiana, and the suspected gunman was later fatally shot by police during a vehicle chase. Local authorities said the incident was the latest mass shooting in the United States. Shreveport Police Department spokesperson Christopher Bordelon said at a news conference that some of the children were related to the suspected gunman and that the shootings occurred in 3 residences.
And Islamabad Deputy Commissioner Irfan Nawaz Memon on Sunday dismissed as fake on Sunday a notification announcing that all public and private offices in the federal capital and Rawalpindi would remain closed from April 20 until further notice. In a social media post on X, Memon said citizens are requested to refrain from sharing unverified or fake news. Please rely only on official handles of the district administration, Islamabad, for authentic updates.
That the Israeli military published for the first time a map of its new deployment line inside Lebanon on Sunday, bringing dozens of mostly abandoned Lebanese villages under its control. Days after a ceasefire with Hezbollah took effect, there was no immediate comment from Lebanese officials or from Hezbollah. Israel and Lebanon agreed on Thursday to a US-backed ceasefire in fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. That Billie Eilish lived out every Justin Bieber fan's dream who grew up listening to the pop star's hits like Baby Sorry and Never Say Never. As the Coachella headliner invited her upon the stage for One Less Lonely Girl, the 24-year-old songstress was visibly overtaken by emotions as she joined the Daisy's hitmaker on stage, and even more emotional after she got back to the audience.
And Jennifer Aniston is sending her love to her ex-husband as he embarks on a new chapter. The Friends alum quietly showed support for Justin Theroux after he welcomed his first child, with wife Nicole Bryden Bloom liking the couple's baby announcement on Instagram. Also celebrating the news was Aniston's longtime friend and Friends co-star Courtney Cox. And 8 children were killed in a shooting spree early Sunday in the southern U.S. state of Louisiana, in what police said appears to have been an incident of domestic violence. The gunman, who was not immediately identified, was fatally shot by police after a car chase, officials said. And British police said they had arrested 7 people on Sunday over what they said was a national coordinated plan by activists who want to tax the super rich to damage and steal from high-end stores. The 7 individuals, 1 man and 6 women, were detained in Salford in northwest England on suspicion of conspiracy to steal, Greater Manchester Police said.
That Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif held a telephone call with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian on Sunday, reaffirming during the conversation that Pakistan would remain fully committed to its honest and sincere efforts to advance regional peace and security. The conversation, which was detailed in a statement by the PM's office, took place after US President Donald Trump confirmed that American representatives were headed to Islamabad for another round of talks with Iran.
And surveillance and analytics company Palantir recently posted what it called 2-point summary of CEO Alexander Karp's book, The Technological Republic. Written by Karp and Palantir's head of corporate affairs, Nicholas Samiska, The Technological Republic was published last year and described by its authors as the beginnings of the articulation of the theory behind Palantir's work. One critic said it was not a book at all, but a piece of corporate sales material. And London. London Mayor Sadiq Khan has praised Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif for Pakistan's role in supporting peace efforts between the US and Iran, and stressing that the Premier has shown considerable statesmanship and deserves lots of credit for the role he has played. Speaking to Geo News at the Vaisakhi Aki celebrations in Trafalgar Square of London, Mayor Khan said, And PM Shehbaz deserves great credit. We've seen Vice President JD Vance in Pakistan. We've seen the Iranian team in Pakistan. We want this ceasefire to be permanent. It's really important to recognize the importance of peacekeeping. And disputes are solved amicably and peacefully, and diplomacy is really important. And King Charles has commissioned acclaimed historian Anna Kie to write the official biography of his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, confirmed by Buckingham Palace. Kay, an award-winning author and director of the Landmark Trust, has been granted rare access to the Royal Archives, allowing her to study a vast collection of private papers and official documents linked to the life and reign of Britain's longest-serving monarch.
That. Andre Royo has officially joined the cast of Man of Tomorrow, the upcoming Superman-related film directed by James Gunn. Royo is best known for playing Bubbles in The Wire, a role that made him widely loved and respected.
And Wizards Beyond Waverly Place is bringing back some familiar places for Season 2. Selena Gomez is set to reunite with Jennifer Stone and Maria Canals-Barrera for the upcoming second and final season of the Wizards of Waverly Place reboot. It was announced on Friday, April 17. And Indian officials called for the swift implementation of a proposed regional energy hub in Sri Lanka. At the start of bilateral talks in Colombo on Sunday, the planned oil hub in the northeastern port of Trincomalee featured in a meeting with Sri Lankan President Anura Kumara Dissanayake, India's visiting Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri told reporters.
That. Marden. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Sohail Afridi said on Sunday that he had conveyed a message to incarcerated PTI founder Imran Khan, stating that he was ready to be in Islamabad, ostensibly to hold a power show in the federal capital. I conveyed to him that I am ready, the nation is ready, Pakistanis are ready. If you give us the go-ahead, we will be in Islamabad the next day, he told a charged crowd at a public gathering in Mardan.
And welcome back to TechCrunch Mobility, your hub for the future of transportation, and now more than ever, how AI is playing a part. To get this in your inbox, sign up here for free. Just click TechCrunch Mobility. A few weeks ago, and I wrote about how Uber seemed to be everywhere, all at once in the emerging autonomous vehicle technology sector. The Financial Times has now put a number on it, and the FT calculated that Uber has committed more than $10 billion to buying autonomous vehicles and taking equity stakes in the companies developing the tech, according to public records and discussions with folks behind the scenes. About $2, and $5 billion of that is in direct investments, with the remaining $7.5 billion to be spent on buying robotaxis over the next few years, the outlet reported. And US Energy Secretary Chris Wright on Sunday said he believes gas prices have peaked, but predicted that they may stay above 3 oils per gallon until next year. Gas prices have risen during the US and Israeli war on Iran and Iranian attacks on US bases in the Gulf region, creating political headwinds for President Donald Trump ahead of the November midterm elections, where his Republican Party will defend slim majorities in the Senate and House of Representatives. And Prince Harry and Meghan Markle returned to Australia this week for their first joint visit since 2018, kicking off a tightly packed 4-day programme. The tour began in Melbourne, with the couple visiting the Royal Children's Hospital before heading to the Australian National Veterans Arts Museum in Southbank. And Ryan Reynolds talked openly about the situation his wife Blake Lively is going through as her legal case with Justin Baldoni continues to move forward. While talking in a recent interview, Reynolds was asked how they have been dealing with such a public issue in their personal life.